Okay then, Helldivers, we've got loads to report today as we start talking about the Sony situation still happening and the community still not happy. There seems to be a lot happening with this one, and we've caught Sony out in their word changes. Yep, this one's an interesting one and will shut a lot of people up that are defending the course at this moment in time. So we're going to dive through that. Some comments from the CEO himself, and Spitz has been hit under fire and is making some statements as well. So I am extremely excited to get into this one for you guys. But before we do, I do want to state, please don't have a go at the Arrowhead staff or developers or community managers or anyone from the Arrowhead team. It's been quite evident that it's definitely not their fault. Although, feel free to keep making comments at Sony. Nonetheless, we're going to dive on into it. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. On top of that, make sure you check out our sponsor, GamerSerps, the leader in gaming energy and nutrition. They offer gamers and esports athletes a healthy energy choice, helping them to perform for their highest potential. GG is completely keto friendly, less than 1 calorie and sugar free, and comes in amazing amounts of flavors. They also have a load of accessories, of which the latest is the Egyptian that's just dropped right now. This stuff is bare comfortable and I absolutely love it. So make sure you go and give it a check out. Use code CloudPlays at checkout to get yourself a cheeky discount. Nothing better than that. With that being said, though, let's dive on into what we've got at hand. So, starting off, Sony seem to be slipping on their words, as we can see that there has been some optional changes to the game with regards to the PlayStation sign-in required for Helldivers on PC. As you can see right here in the frequently asked questions, this was originally what it stated. Do I have to sign in to PSN to play on PlayStation game on PC? And it states right here, signing into PSN is optional when playing a PlayStation game on PC. And then in the next one, we have right here, some PlayStation games may require you to sign in and link to an account from PC. So when the game officially launched as Helldivers and was available for play on Steam, this was originally an optional choice, which means that Sony have decided last minute to change that up. Now, this is where the problems come in, because essentially you have sold a product to people and sold that product to people in countries that are not allowed a PlayStation Network account, and then all of a sudden swept it underneath and just pulled the rug from underneath your feet, and now there's people not available to play, and now there is people that are going to have to share their details. Now, for me, don't get me twisted, I think it's a little bit silly in 2024 to say that you don't want to share your details with Sony. If you've got a mobile phone, if you've got an Amazon account, if you've got a Google account, you're sharing your information with practically everybody anyway. So with that being said, that has nothing to do with it. The bit that rattles my cage personally is the fact that they've sold it to people in regions and countries that are not able to play it. And this is hitting down quite hard on the community as of right now, as the CEO has now officially spoke out, saying, ouch, right in the review score with a sad face, and rightly so. The Arrowhead team did nothing wrong with this and they are absolutely gutted. But it states, well, I guess it's warranted. Sorry everyone for how this all transpired. I hope we will make it up and regain the trust by providing a continued great experience. I just want to make great games, with the most recent reviews being at 65%, making it a mixed rating. And luckily, of an all-time, it's still mostly positive, but it's starting to get more of a mixed rating and a mixed bag with regards to those review scores. It's definitely a shame, because the game itself is incredible, and the development team I have a lot of respect for. They're absolutely amazing people and they do some incredible things, and have generated a game that has absolutely changed my life. So I cannot say a single bad word about Arrowhead as of right now, while they're still making decent decisions. They do seem to be bent over a barrel by Sony a little bit, and it seems that the pressure has definitely got to them, as over the last few days, Spitz has definitely been going a little bit in on people on Discord with the basis of trying to protect his team and the way that people have been speaking to them, and rightly bloody so. He made a statement just yesterday stating, nobody should feel bad for me, to be honest. I let the negativity get under my skin and gave a few people an attitude. That's on me. I completely understand why people are upset at the required account linking. I'm not thrilled about it either, and my suggestion to people to change changed their reviews to negative was completely genuine. There are good and bad ways to express discontent, and coming after the devs and moderators in here isn't the solution and won't get this decision changed. People are emotional, and rightfully so. Many of them won't be able to play the game anymore. It sucks. I'm not trying to attack anyone for being displeased with the change. I'm just trying to protect my team from the backlash, so I jumped on the grenade. Now, for me, this one is a big round of applause for Spitz. We've had our ups and downs inside of these Discord communities when it comes to Spitz, and he's always been quite a transparent fellow, and for me, that's absolutely huge. I much prefer a community manager development team that are completely transparent with the way that they think of things, because I think at least then you can't say that they've gone all corporate, so on and so forth. And Spitz has tried to defend his team and himself in the running, as Sony has made some really bad decisions for them, and I don't see it as being his fault. I myself would have got emotional about it as well. Now, before we get into the next post coming from Spitz, we are going to be giving away a copy of Helldivers 2, and don't worry, if you've got the game, we're giving away the money equivalent in super credits. So for you guys to get involved today, all you have to do is stick in a robot emoji into the comment section. Why robot emoji? Well, you're about to find out later on tonight when we dive on into it. That's all we've got in source of news for the Sony relation. We're going to dive on into the rest of it. So let's see what's going on. Thanks again for watching. We're going to jump on in and give this away tomorrow via the community page and in the giveaway announcement page in the Discord, which is 11,500 people big now, I may add. So make sure you get involved. Robot emoji in the comment section to get yourself entered. Let's dive on into the rest of it. But today he woke up and had some more opinions to post up. So it's been an interesting feat to say the least. He states right here, Arrowhead wanted to give a cosmetic reward for account linking, but I'm unsure what the status on that is currently, or if it's still planned. So we're going to have to wait and see for that one. I think that should be something that they definitely do. It just gives a bit of an incentive. We have spoke about that one previously here on the channel when we spoke about it originally, but it's just one of those, man. At the end of the day, Sony are going to do what they need to do, and you're either going to like it or not like it. You're going to play or not play, and you're going to leave the review that you guys need to put forward. So I understand where Spitz is coming from with this one, but we have hopefully going to receive something for this. I think that it should at least be a product placement where if you account link, you get like a specific piece of armor or a specific weapon that accounts for the account link, just to give people a bit more of an incentive to do it. But anyway, he goes on to state a little bit later on in the day that players making their displeasure known through reviews, refunds, etc. gives us more pull in the discussions with Sony. They don't read our Discord. It hurts to see the game's popularity suffer in ratings, but discussions are ongoing, and our team is on the side of the players in this fight. It's unrealistic to expect people to make PSN accounts in different regions to get past the account linking requirement. We are aware of that. Discussions are ongoing. Massive run for Arrowhead, and these situations have happened quite a lot in the past. When it comes to these big corporate companies, we've seen it before with Bungie and Activision. There were some terrible decisions made, and the game kind of went down a bit of a downhill slope with the game originally until they broke away from Activision, as far as I'm aware. There are times where this happens, but games always have had those opportunities to make a comeback when they eventually break away from contractual rights. I'm hoping that Arrowhead can do that with Sony, because Sony, I'm not a massive advocate for them. I have played their consoles for a long time, but I don't agree with their terms of service, and I don't agree with a lot of their main features that they push as publishers. But Arrowhead have got their heads screwed on. They're completely honest and transparent to the point that they are probably closer to the community than most developers. But we had a final statement coming from Spitz right here that states, if a better solution isn't provided for players who are in regions without PSN coverage, I'm assured that we won't be making the requirement mandatory for those players. We're not going to force people to either break Sony TOS or not play the game. So we have a solid statement right there, which essentially keeps you guys rest assured that you should still be able to play the game, even though you are not going to be within that specific PSN region. That does then obviously lead to question as to how that one's going to operate going forward for those people who don't want to associate themselves with Sony and give their data over to them, when there's certain regions that do not have to. They're going to have a real in-depth discussion with Sony on this one, and I have got full faith in the fact that Arrowhead are going to put the community first and the player base first, because realistically, they do what they love, and they love what they do, and they push for the community quite freaking frequently. Even when it's a decision that you don't like with a balancing schematic or something like that, it's generally to work in favor of the player base. You may not always understand it, you may not always see it, but it's definitely the truth. For me, I'm fully behind Arrowhead, and they have my full renowned support, and we are going to push as much of a positive notice with regards to this and what the team are actually doing against the whole Sony purposing. For me, it's definitely worth it. Please stop going into the Discord, stop giving the Arrowhead staff harassment issues and abuse and all of that crap. It's definitely not going to be a base, and when it comes to corporate business, there is a lot of things that happen in the background that we may not understand as players. So make sure you are very nice to these people, because they are definitely fighting for your future inside of the game. That's unfortunately what we've got time for today, though. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Like, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.